Let me go to Arundhati Roy, author and activist who's joining us. Arundhati, your first reactions to what's happened today?
Well, like everybody else, I think that it's absolutely outrageous what the government has done, and mysterious as well. I don't know what it's so insecure about. You know, here is a bill which they're just saying, they're not saying accept everything, they're just saying, you know, table it in parliament and debate it. So why are they so insecure? I really don't know why they're so insecure.
Yeah, but the bottom line, Arundhati, you see this as a right, as a fundamental right to dissent, a fundamental part of Article 19, a right to freedom of expression, or do you accept that there is a government, there is some logic to what the government says, that there should be reasonable restrictions even to the right to freedom of expression?
No, I don't accept that at all. And what I don't understand is that, you know, somebody here is saying that they want to go on a fast, and they are saying that that's not right. Every kind of effective dissent is not right. Of course, we all tend to forget that Sharmila Irom has been on a fast unto death for 10 years, but no TV channels are that interested in her cause.
Right. So are we then saying, Arundhati Roy, that you believe civil society is now united, at least on the limited point, that every individual, every group has the right to protest? Well, what the content of Anna Hazare's Lokpal Bill is, or a content of an Aruna Roy's her version of a Lokpal Bill, those are different matters. But the bottom line is, every individual or group must have a right to protest.
Look, Rajdeep, the fact is that this kind of violent putting down of every kind of dissent has been happening across the country for many years now. It's just that it's washing up at the middle class in the big policy cities now. But that is a very serious development, which means that, you know, the situation of emergency has existed in Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh. Then it moved to, you know, places like Jetapur, where the bigger farmers are protesting, and now it's washed up outside our doors, which is what is causing this hysteria. But
are you saying it's an emergency-like situation? Are you saying this is?
Well, I've been saying that way before all this started to happen. You know, if you look at the laws that exist in this country, you cannot call it a democracy. And now they want to pass the Armed Forces Special Powers Act in Chhattisgarh and Odisha and Jharkhand. They want to deploy the army. What more proof do you need that we are in an emergency-like situation?
But one final question. Do you believe that this form of protest is the way to get society rid of corruption? Do you really believe that a fast unto death is the way forward?
You know, the point is that society is, I mean, that's a bit of a, you know, ridiculous idea that any society will be free of corruption. I believe that it might go some way towards solving corruption, but the problems are systemic. And so we'd have to address that. As far as I'm concerned, I want to know why people who have been indicted or, you know, seem to be guilty in the 2G scam are still running around. You know, if the government would actually move on that and strengthen existing mechanisms, then we wouldn't need this. But now you're in a situation where you've completely lost, you know, faith. And so people are trying to create a separate sort of, in some ways, a separate oligarchy to correct the one that already exists. But it can go on forever, you know, unless we actually address the fact that these institutions of democracy are failing now, and we have to do something about it.